And I'm back, and this is a follow-up video to a video that I posted a couple weeks ago about when you fill up the gas tank on your vehicle and the engine has difficulty starting. It can also be related to an emissions code P0440. So the previous video is right up here, just check that out. What I ordered was a Purge Solenoid valve. Okay, so briefly how the evaporative emission system works is you have your gas tank, and that's the filling cap there. Then you have pipes that connect the vapor that comes off the top of the fuel to a vapor canister. That's filled with activated charcoal. And what it does is it acts as a bit of a holding tank for the vapors from the fuel tank. And there is a vent solenoid that's attached to a hose that goes to atmosphere here. What happens is the fuel vapor gets trapped in the activated charcoal, even though there is a vent solenoid here to atmosphere. It seems a little contradictory, but that's how it works. This is normally open, and what will happen every now and then during the driving cycle is this valve will close, the computer will close it, and it will allow a bit of pressure to build in the system, and that's how it knows if there's any leaks or if there's any malfunctions in the system. And then it'll open and resume. So, but if it closes and does a test and the pressure isn't right in the system, it'll set a trouble code, which you'll get on your dash. You'll get that check engine light. Okay, now the other component up here is what they call a Purge Solenoid valve. It's normally closed. It's right here. It's electrically controlled by the computer, and that passes the vapor from the canister to the intake manifold to be burned in the engine at certain intervals during the driving cycle. But it can't be open all the time. Okay, and so I had been on a road trip with the car, and I got a check engine light. And the check engine light was P0440, which is a generic fault in the evaporative emission system somewhere. Okay, so I reset the code with the little code reader that I have, and it reappeared. And I reset it again, and I was far from home, but I had been using fuel out of the tank, of course, and I got low on gas, so I went to a gas station. You know, the car had been running fine, it just that the light had showed up, and I figured, okay, it was a small leak, it wasn't anything major, and I continued to drive the car. But I went to the gas station, and I filled the tank. Now, I just filled it to when it stopped, you know, when the filling nozzle stops. I don't fill it beyond that. I don't try and squeeze the tank full. So I filled it up, and it clicked off, and I got in the car to drive away, and right away it wouldn't start. And why it makes a change when you fill it up with gas is there's fuel vapor in the tank and there's fuel vapor in the canister, and you fill this tank with fuel and it squeezes that vapor out into the canister and it pushes it up here, and normally it would stop behind a closed valve here. But that valve's wide open, so what it does is all that fuel vapor goes into the intake manifold. And when you go to start it, it's flooded. It's just like having the choke on, you know. It creates an extremely rich condition in the intake manifold, making the engine hard to start. So if you fill the tank in your car and it's hard to start, then most likely the problem is the Purge solenoid valve here stuck in the open position. And we're going to take out the one that's in here that's defective, and we're going to run tests on the old one and the new one side by side, and we'll compare them. And then we'll install the new one, and we'll see if that fixes our issue. So there's a breather hose here that just pops out. Easier to get it out with that out of the way of that pipe. And then so this just sits on a bit of a little bracket like that, and there's a plug. There's a bail on it here that pushes like that. And this one is zip tied in, so I'll just cut those zip ties. Okay, so this hose here comes from the vapor canister, but back by the gas tank. And this one here goes to the intake manifold. All right, so let's take this up and go side by side and test the new one. Okay, up here in the shop, here's the old one, and here's the new one. Now, our suspicion was that the old one was stuck open. Now, how they're supposed to work is this is supposed to be normally closed and only open when the computer demands it. So the simplest test is just to blow through it. So I'm going to just blow through this one. Can blow through that easily. And here's the new one. can't blow through the new one. So right away we know that this one's stuck open just like we thought. This one is closed normally, and we can test it electrically too, just to see if there's anything on the electrical side. So let's take a look here. Let's just put it on continuity. Okay, there's continuity between the terminals on the new one. I'm looking at about, is it 21 ohms? Around 21 ohms. And we're looking here on the old one. That one's pretty close, around 21 ohms. So the resistance through the winding's the same, so there may not be anything wrong with the winding, but the valve part of it is stuck. Okay, so how that goes, this is the one that comes from the vapor canister, and this one goes to the intake manifold. Okay, so vapor canister, that, this one to the intake manifold, like so, and we'll tighten these down. I plan on getting some better clamps, but for now, zip tie does the trick. Okay, and I can snip those off in a moment. So here's our connector. You just squeeze the bail down like that. Okay, and it just sits on that little bracket. All right, let me cut those off, and we'll put this this hose back in. Okay, there it is. Everything's good. Let's go take this for a drive, and hopefully that problem doesn't persist. So yeah, this is the kind of thing where the code may not show up right away, and but I'm pretty confident in my diagnosis that that purge solenoid valve was stuck open, as we could see, and the new one is clearly closed when there's no power to it. So okay, I'll take it for a drive. So hopefully that helps somebody. This is the kind of thing that you can do yourself if you know, just a few diagnostics, simple diagnostics. If you have a little code reader, like I'll show you the one I've got here. I keep this in the car all the time. This is just a little one I got on Amazon. They're about, you know, $20 or something like that, and you can read the codes and actually clear the codes too. So there's other, you know, a few other little functions you can do with these, but yeah, if you get a trouble code there, check engine light, you can find out what it is, and then, you know, this will tell you the basics, and then you can go online and, you know, go in depth with the diagnosis. That part cost about $80, and it took about 10 days to get here, so it wasn't right around the corner, but I got it, and it's in, and hopefully that's helped somebody, and we'll see you again here very soon on Everyday Projects. Bye for now. And off we go.